Welcome in along with Eric Eager. I'm Steve Palazzolo. Today discussing the college football playoff and trying to look at these four teams and say, okay, I think I know who has the best odds to win the whole thing, but let's break it down a little bit more in depth. Eric, we've had Alabama as the #1 team pretty much from start to finish this entire season. There were points in the year where they were so much higher than everyone else. Yep. I think it got a little bit tighter, a little bit more toward the end, but is Alabama the clear favorite at this point?
Yeah, we have them about a 70% chance to win it all, which is basically kind of where the market is. I think the market's even a little bit higher on them than that, but we have them with a pretty easy shot of beating Oklahoma in the first round, and then their likely opponent in the championship round is Clemson, and we have Clemson with a 26% chance to win it all. So it's really those two teams, and that's kind of what we've expected this entire season, even with the quarterback change for Clemson.
When you look at the PFF rankings, which are all automated, and you've done a ton of work working with the numbers and all the stuff that matters toward winning football games. Like, again, Alabama #1. What's the difference between a Bama and a Clemson in those rankings, and then the difference between Clemson and OU and Notre Dame and some of those other teams that just missed the college football playoff? How wide is this margin?
Yeah, for us, it's mostly about the conference you play in, right? So Alabama gets to play, in the SEC. So every year we're sort of assuming that they're better than a team like Oklahoma just based upon those base rates. And then as the course of the season goes on, if you continue to win football games and continue to do it impressively as Alabama has, your rating shoots up. Beating Georgia, obviously it was a struggle for them, but ultimately in our rating system, winning that football game is a pretty nice, win in the terms of the algorithm there. Clemson playing in the ACC a little bit lower, and then of course Notre Dame being independent and Oklahoma being from the Big 12. It's just simply not something. It's not a great place to start from. You really have to be brilliant to get up to Alabama's caliber in our rating system coming from those conferences.
What about with Clemson? They moved to Trevor Lawrence at quarterback about a little bit before halfway through the season. That tightens the race a little bit because their passing game improved. So I think Clemson, their pass game got better, their pass defense got better, and I know all the numbers you run and say, hey, look, it's all about the pass game. The run game's nice, but it's about the pass game. If you can win in those two areas, you have a shot. So does that at least tighten the race, assuming we have an Alabama-Clemson game again in the final?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's Tua Tagovailoa, second in the Heisman rating, a cluster 1 quarterback in our system versus that defensive line of Clemson, right? And we know that, Tua was injured in the SEC title game, so there's always a little question there that might take me from being, Alabama 70% to maybe Alabama 60, 65%. We know Jalen Hurts is a solid backup there. But yeah, it's all about the passing game. Can Trevor Lawrence sort of emerge and go toe-to-toe with Tua Tagovailoa and all those receivers that we saw make brilliant plays after the catch, both for he and Hurts in the SEC title game.
There you have it. Alabama, the clear favorite in the college football playoff. It's going to take some special performances to unseat the defending national champs.